What's up, party people? This is Tarkus Jude Mossberg here from Facebook. A Facebook profile, that is. I also have a Facebook business page shop called Jude's Junk, a YouTube channel, and all the socials for Jude's Junk. So I wanted to do a video to tell you, there's a lot of people that ask, hey, I want to try to sell my books. And I've done videos on what the big options are, the high option, a lot of time, medium time, and very low time. And so what I want to do today is give you a video on how to sell books on, let's just say, Facebook. Social media, I'm getting into the whatnot, the TikToks, and it's just getting in front of eyes and more eyes. And I'm getting more and more interest in how to expand my marketing to more and more eyes. I thought I might have some insight that would be helpful to you because I have an MBA in marketing. I've had my own business doing sales over the phone since 2002-ish, and hated sales going to college. Never wanted to get into sales, and ended up getting into sales by accident. Hated every second of it, and it ended up being a blessing for me and my wife. We can live anywhere because we work from home, and so this idea of sales using social media, comic books, okay? It's just about putting in the hours. The hours and the eyes. The hours and the eyes. That's it. There's time involved. A lot of people, I'll see a post and they'll say, hey, I got a bunch of comic books for sale. If you want to buy any of mine at fair market value, hit me up. Okay. No one's going to hit you up. The only people are hitting you up is because they assume you don't know what you're doing and they're looking to rip you off, steal from you, get great deals. Then there's the people that will put up an ad and say, here's hundreds of books I have. I have all these X-Men run. No. It doesn't matter whether you make a post on your profile, a post on your page. It's free to create a page. The difference between a page and a profile is a page, you can, it's a business page, and you can do different things and more things with your page than you can with a regular profile. You may not know the differences yet, but just create a page. If it has to be your name, no big deal. If it has to be a business name, just make something up. It doesn't have to be a DBA or some big deal, just whatever. I just made up Jude's Junk one day because my middle name is Jude, and I was making fun of my books because I like to have high-end books, and so I was just calling them junk by, just goofing around, because they're not junk. They're really high-end books. Really only collect 9/8. Okay, so you can make and I've already talked about this before, you can make a post on groups using your profile. You can make a post in Marketplace. You can make a post on your page, share it with groups. So you want to be involved in lots of comic groups. Some people might put one post on the comic book group and then like renew it every couple of days. And a lot of us don't want to see that, you need to be in 200 groups. If you're not posting, well, maybe that's exaggerative. I mean, if you can do that, great. I don't even know if there are 200 great comic book groups out there. I just sent out because you can, there's a button on here that says on your Marketplace ads to send out to other places. And I think I have about 90 groups that I can send it out to. So that's just Marketplace ads on buy-sell groups. Beyond that, there are groups that don't allow Marketplace ads, so you could do those as well. You just can't do it all in one day. You're going to get flagged for spam. Facebook's going to mark you down. Groups it's going to go to the spam folder. So you don't want to spam people. And so you need to get pre-approval on the groups so it doesn't go to their spam folder. And you can't be mad at these admins. It's not their job to make sure your ad shows up, okay? You got to be very, very polite, because you start getting kicked out of the good groups, then you're certainly not going to sell anything. And I had done that early on. I was like, hey, man, blah, blah, blah. And this is my third profile. My first profile got deleted by Facebook. Someone broke in and did some unethical stuff, and so I couldn't get it back. But it's eyes and time. It takes me time. My goal is to blast out 2 Marketplace ads a day. 2 a day. And I'm could be working full-time on this. I have other businesses and other jobs. I'm watching my Phoenix Suns play off in the background here. I have 2 other businesses I still got to run. So it's not really a full-time job, but I might spend 3 or 4 or 5 hours a day, if not more. So you create the marketplace ad and you need to share it at least 30. I think that's when it starts to cut you off. If you're going through and you're sharing your marketplace ad somewhere around, well, maybe 21, somewhere around 21, it won't let you pick anymore. And you hit send, and then you can go in, and then you can pick more and send, then you can go in and pick more. So if you want to stay off the spam filters of algorithms with Facebook, just do 21 a day. And the good news is the ones you've already shared to marketplace ads won't pop up again. So that next day when you go in to share, there'll be other ones in there that haven't been shared to yet, and you can just click those groups. But you got to be members of the groups. And so you want to get your profile, you want to get your page, and you want to start getting into these groups. I needed to keep a spreadsheet of all these groups because they all have different rules. Some of them allow marketplace ads, some of them don't. So I have a whole side where it's all my groups that don't have marketplace ads, and then over here is all the groups that do accept marketplace ads. And so in each column, the ones that don't accept marketplace ads, they're still buy-sell groups, they just don't accept marketplace ads. You got to go in there and copy paste. Or you can hit the share button. So on your marketplace ad, you can hit the share button. But I don't think that works if they don't accept marketplace ads. So I need to figure that out. So, but there's rules. They might say only 2 posts a day. They might say no sales. And so it's up to you whether you want to be in groups that don't allow sales, because they're just going to kick you out anyway. So would you rather just, that's a big trade-off. Do you want to just get kicked out and not worry about it? The problem is there might be some time you need to get into these groups that don't allow sales. So that's your choice to make. But some of these groups that don't allow Facebook ads, they don't allow pages to share information. So you could make a post in a page and share that. So some groups don't allow pages, some groups don't allow marketplace ads. I write all these down for every groups. And on my spreadsheet, I put down the name of the group, the number of people in the group, and that spreadsheet's long. There's like 200 that don't accept marketplace ads and 200 that do. So if you really want to sell on social media, this is the way to do it. I've tried all the other easy ways, and eventually all roads lead here. You got to know the groups you're sharing to. You got to know the rules. You got to, get involved, volunteer to be a moderator, get in as an admin. Don't yell at someone because they're not approving your post. Go in and say, hey man, can I help you? And then people will say, yes, I would love the help. I think I'm an admin in like 10 to 12 groups. So be friendly, offer your services. This is social media. If you don't want to be social, just go to eBay. This is social media. You got to be social. You got to be friendly. You got to interact. If you're just doing a store and you're trying to blow out 10,000 $3 comic books, you're just blasting eBay. And those are the kind of people that send you the comic book in a flimsy little thing with hardly any protection. And, you're buying a $2 book. They're not expecting that you're worrying about the condition. So, time and eyes. You got to get in front of the eyes. So you can't just put on one post on Comic Book Group because that's the group you love. That's actually the name, Comic Book Group. It's one of the bigger groups, got a lot of admins, a lot of moderators. You don't just push one post on there and then renew it every few days and then say, I couldn't sell anything. Someone out there wants your books. Someone out there might want your books at the price you want. Someone might want to offer you a price that lower than what you're asking. You got to make them feel welcome to give you offers. But if you say offers of acceptable, then everyone's going to give you an offer. So you got to balance that out in terms of how you give them freedom. You got to be polite. Your language has to be polite. Put enough stuff in they call it ad copy. Put enough stuff in the ad that communicates this book. This is the time. And then, granted, a $3 book's you might put less time and energy versus a $40 book versus a $400 book. So you got to decide how much time you want to spend writing the ad copy. I have the ad copy written in my CLZ app. My CLZ app, I have the online computer. So I can go in, copy the ad copy, put it straight into a marketplace ads, put it straight into a post, and I don't have to recreate it every time. And it's always in that comic book, in that CLZ application. So you're writing the ad copy and you want to communicate clearly. If they have to ask you a question, you have failed. If they have to waste their time to ask you a question, you failed. This is a fast moving thing. I want to go through the grocery store. I want to see the price and I want to move on. I'm not going to go get someone from checkout to walk down the aisle and tell me what the price of those beans are. Your comic book's not that big a deal for $5. Move on. I'll just find another one. This is like the aisles. And this is even less attention than walking down the aisles of a supermarket, because you might go slow. You might look at things. Oh, I haven't been over here in a while. Maybe there's something I can like over here. You know, social media is short attention span. We used to joke with my daughter all the time. Short attention span. Be clear on the ad. And don't say, hey, I wrote it in the ad. Why are you asking me? It's because they didn't open the ad. They're just asking you. But you can be polite and say, well, I sure hope I answered that for you in the ad. Let me go check. Oh, yeah, I did. And it's, $3.95 fully shipped. The confused mind says no. If you don't know how to communicate, if you don't know how to write, if you don't know how to spell, use correct grammar, punctuation, you're just going to confuse them and you're not going to sell. So take this like a job interview. Be professional with the way you write. This one guy has a group that he's an admin on, and he never capitalizes anything, and there's no periods, and he writes like he's doing text, and it looks very childish, looks like very unprofessional. And if he's that sloppy with an ad, he's going to be that sloppy with your books, that sloppy with packing your books, that sloppy with mailing your books, that sloppy with invoicing you. Everyone just wants to avoid the sloppy seller. So be really clear in, this is shipping, this is the book ship. What I like to do is, this is your price shipped. You don't need to worry about tax. You don't need to worry about shipping, PayPal goods and services, fees extra. No, don't do any of that. That's just going to piss off a buyer. $20 shipped, boom. But where does he live? Don't worry about it. It's pretty much the same fee, PayPal ground advantage, anywhere in the country. It doesn't matter. There are corporate rates. You could go out and get cheaper shipping rates. You can go on Pirate Ship and get shipping. If you're the guy who's driving to the post office to stand in line to buy postage for a $5 package, don't even be in this business of selling books. Even if you're only selling like one or two a month, get yourself a Pirate Ship advertisement, hook up your credit card, your bank account to it, get a scale, get a $10 scale, get one at the thrift store for $2, weigh your stuff, print out the shipping label, and tape it on your box. Done. Find a way to package cheap. We have these cutters so we can cut our boxes up to make them smaller if they need to. I had to go out and buy supplies. Depending on how much you're selling, you might have to buy the supplies. And you might have to scrounge up some supplies in the beginning if you're just getting into this. But take the time to get some good supplies. Be clear in the ad what you're doing, what you're trying to sell. I go back to confused mind says, no, just make it simple. $30 USD, because there's a lot of ads from overseas and we don't know what's what and what. $30 USD. That way the Canadians aren't going to complain if they happen to see it. And they're not going to come back and waste your time by asking, hey, is this in Canadian dollars? No, it's not. $30 USD shipped. That means shipped. Whatever that includes. Insurance, shipping fees, whatever. $30 shipped. You give me $30, I'll get you the book. $30 USD shipped, PPGS. Just put that on there. Anybody who's buying PayPal goods and services, no. If you want to write out PayPal goods and services, you can, because some people don't know what PPGS is. $30 fully shipped USD PayPal goods and services. And then when the scammers contact you on Marketplace and say, hey, I'm interested in this book, we all get them. And they might be scammers. They might just people that are interested. They're driving, they're at work, they saw a book, and they just hit the button that says, hey, I'm interested. Great. That just means they want to look at it closer when they get home. They want to look up that price online. They find out you're charging too much or you're not giving them the deal they want, then they'll just move on. So if they just move on, don't worry about it. That's just the way Facebook works. But what you say is, when they say, are you interested? I just say, when they say, is it still available? I say, sure is, just need your PayPal email and I'll send you an invoice. Done. Don't waste any more time. If they're serious, they're going to give you a PayPal invoice. If they want to negotiate, they'll try to negotiate. You don't need to write and get involved and make any big explanation. It sure is, just need your PayPal email and I'll send you an invoice. Not a request, an invoice. An invoice is professional. PayPal has an option to do an invoice, even if you have PayPal Private versus PayPal Business. There's two apps, a PayPal Personal and a PayPal Business app, and I can do invoices off of both, I believe. I've been using both for a long time, and I still get confused, but I'm pretty sure you can still do both. So an invoice, you might actually have to pay a smaller fee for invoices, by the way, if you didn't know that. So if you want to just send them a request for money, you can, but I do bigger books, so invoices are better. But if you have smaller books and you want to save 30 cents on your $20 transaction, you wouldn't send them an invoice, you'd send them a PayPal request. And then they would pay goods and services. You got to be prepared to teach people how to use PayPal. Not everybody knows how to do it. A lot of people use Cash App or Venmo or Zelle or whatnot, So so when they send me that message, it's still available. Sure is, just need your email to send you an invoice. And then we have a discussion. Hey, do you give any discounts? And I give discounts for cash versus PayPal goods and services. And so they get to decide whether they want to pay cash and get 10% off, or if they want to pay full price and PayPal goods and services. They can still, then we negotiate everything. We negotiate shipping. We negotiate, hey, how do you pack? We negotiate, can you finance it for me? Can you wait till next week? There's all kinds of conversations we have. And there's a voice message option when you're doing messages. I don't think it's in the Marketplace messages, but it's in the regular profile messages. You can just talk human, and they're more likely to trust you if there's a trust that needs to be involved, like with trading. Sometimes with short text messages, if that's all a person's doing, I wonder whether this is a scam. So get the ad out in a lot of different places. Do it on Marketplace, on groups that accept Marketplace ads. Do it on comic book groups that don't accept Marketplace ads. You could share from your profile to these groups. You could share from your page to these groups. But you got to get the eyes out there. You can't just put it in one group, like a large group like comic book, and expect someone that wants it's going to see it. The problem becomes if you have cheaper books, $20 books, this much work and time is probably not worth it. I do bigger books, and I've learned that if I'm going to put this much time into actually marketing the book correctly, they need to be bigger books. Even a $100 book to me is like a small book in terms of the time I might invest in marketing. It might be an hour. And if you calculate your time value of money, an hour, for me is $400. I'm worth $400 an hour. And spending an hour to market it. This is a hobby. I enjoy playing with comic books. I enjoy getting a break in my little dark room up here. So it's not all work for me. This is how I get to play with comic books, is buying and selling comic books. I've been chasing all the Claremont X-Men's, all 9/8, and I want them all signed. So I picked up this one the other day, and always like grabbing the X-Men's under number 150. So anyways, you got to get it in front of enough eyes. And so if you're putting the ad copy together and the video, do the video. Facebook loves these videos. So create the ad copy, and then it's easy. I do a quick little video and add it to the Marketplace ad. It has to be under 59 seconds. There's an app out there where it'll turn your talk to text. So on this video screen, people can see what you're saying without turning the volume up. So if they want to see what you're saying at work or in a meeting, they don't have to turn the volume up. They can just read it and put the price up front. That's the first thing I say on the video. $900 shipped, and they can see that right at the front. So they don't have to wonder and dig in, and right off the bat, they're like not even interested. They can just move on. So it saves them time. And do that in the video, and then you can explain. And if there's new unique things to the book, you got the video, you got your voice in the background, that garners more trust. If there's more moving parts, they're like trades or partial trades or cash transactions that require more trust, human interaction is always better if there's going to be more trust involved. And everybody wants the piece of the pie. So I did a video that a lot of stuff is going to go more and more to trust, because there's a lot of scammers on eBay now and people are getting ripped off. So do the video. So you have the ad copy in CLZ, and you can just copy paste it anywhere. You can put it into a post, group, marketplace ad, page, post. If you have a page, then you can get Meta Business. It's an app, and you connect your Instagram account, so I can make that post with that video to my profile, my page, and Instagram, all using one app. That's cool. So if you're copying and pasting and you got the video on your phone, just do it to TikTok. Just do it. I don't have one. Create one. It's not rocket science. Create a TikTok. Create Whatnot. Just add it into Whatnot. Just add it into X. Just add it into YouTube. I don't have a YouTube channel. It's not rocket science. Just create one. If you have the ad copy in the video, you might as well throw it out there, especially if we're talking bigger books. So if you have some bigger books you want to liquidate, this is going to be really the advice I'm giving you. Smaller books, there might be a different way to sell. You might do auctions, you know, that kind of stuff. The Facebook auctions I'm talking about, where you have, 100 books that start at $1 each. That's a different world and a different beast. This is just, I want to just sell my $100 book. I want to sell my $500 book. I'm not a dealer. I don't really know what to do. Get it in front of enough eyes. Find someone that says, you know what? I love that book. I want it. The 90-day average is 500. Last sale was 450, and you're asking 600. Are you willing to sell it for closer to that amount? And you got to give them the freedom and the openness to say, hey, I'm willing to listen, without saying best offer accepted, because that means everybody's going to make you offers, and then it's a lot more work, and then you spend a lot of time, and then they say no. So you have to be careful with that. But you got the ad copy, you got the video, you send it out to your socials, and if it's priced right, eventually it'll sell. And I've been doing this for many years with other stuff, whether it's cars, furniture, whatever. You set up, what are they called? Like in 30 days, maybe if it hasn't sold, you might reduce it by 5%, 10%, whatever. Depending on how fast you need to sell it, depending on how fast you need the cash. Just let it sit out there. Make sure you know if people are contacting you. Make sure you have your notifications on so you don't miss someone reaching out to you, whether it's YouTube or Whatnot, whatever. But as you have these things out here, you're going to be able to create stores on Instagram. You're going to be able to create stores on TikTok. And these are going to be the wave of the future, is what I keep hearing. These stores, you can be able to create my store on Whatnot. And so the minor, bigger books again. So you're not doing this for $3 books. But if you're trying to sell a book, just get it in front of enough eyes. You might say, this sounds like a lot of work. Yes, it is. So you got to decide if you really want to do the work to sell it for fair market value, because that's what fair market value is. You got to do a lot of the work, and you might get fair market value. Because if you put it up on eBay, they're going to eat 15%. If you do this work, then PayPal Goods and Services only eats 3%. So you're saving yourself 12% to do all this work. If you don't want to do this work, just put it up on eBay and give them the 12%. Then taxes is a whole issue you have to be concerned with. So, depending on how much you make and how much you sell, that's a whole nother concern on profitability. So Could I put everything up on eBay? Yes. Can I have people buy the book and then return it if they didn't like it? Yes. There are problems with eBay. There could be scams, you know. They quote, send back the book, and then you get a box back and it's empty. So I don't want to deal with scams. I don't want to deal with eBay. So I'll do the extra work, save the extra 12%, and I've set it up where most of my buyers pay me cash or they finance it with cash. And so there's less of a chance of people ripping me off as a seller. Anyways, this is encouraging. You can do this if you want to. You can get it in front of enough eyes, and then you move on to the next comic book, and then the next comic book, and the next comic book. So someone just beeped outside, which is weird. Sound like a big truck too. I'm on a small subdivision in the middle of nowhere. So this is for those people that are, whether they're trying to sell 1 or 2 books or hundreds of books, time and eyes, get it out there, communicate clearly, and you'll be able to sell it. Now, you may not be able to sell everything this week, but if you put up 2 ads a day, that's 60 books in 30 days. That'll keep you busy with invoicing, keeping track, shipping, packing, going to the post office. That keeps me busy. 2 ads a day. That's 60 books a month. You can do it. You can do it late at night. You can do it early in the morning. Sometimes I'm sitting outside in the sun and I have the videos on my phone. Before I delete them off my phone, I'm in there sharing them. I have the video of me selling the book, and then I have the ad copy on my CLZ. So it's all on my phone, the video and the ad copies on my phone. So I'm driving in my car, waiting somewhere. I just copy paste the ad copy, and then I just share it with the socials and then attach the video from my phone. Then I can delete the video off my phone. Anyways, happy hunting. You can do it, but you don't have to do it. If you don't want to do it, then sell it to someone else at 75% fair market value or 50% and let them do the work. That's the trade-off. Anyways, good luck, guys. You can do it.